Time for Mattress Running the Numbers. This week, what do we have?
We have Wyndham points on sale. So it's not exactly a mattress run. We're not going anywhere, checking into a hotel, just earning the points. Instead, we're talking about buying points, which is something we don't normally talk about doing speculatively. We don't really talk about buying points very much at all. But in this case, Wyndham is offering a 25% discount on the sale of points. They ordinarily charge 1.3 cents per point. With the sale, it's 0.975 cents per point. So a little under a penny a point. And you can buy up to 45,000 points. So the 45,000 points will run you, I think, $468 and a quarter or something like that. So you can buy yourself a bunch of Wyndham points. And that seems kind of interesting on the surface if you've been following along with what we've been talking about with Vacasa, because Vacasa vacation rentals cost 15,000 points per bedroom per night. We've written about the fact that there are plenty of one-bedroom places that you can book an entire vacation rental home for 15,000 points. So with this sale, you could basically buy the points for those nights for just under 150 bucks a night, which can be a great deal in many cases. Not all, but of course, in many cases. The question, though, however, is, well, first of all, is that a deal? Would you even consider that? Let's start there. Would you even consider buying those points?
Oh, definitely. If I had plans to book a Wyndham stay, whether that's through Vacasa or somewhere else, and the value of the points for the stay would be significantly more than 1 cent each, which in the example you gave when you booked a Vacasa vacation rental, I think you're looking at about 3 cents per point value.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
so that would be a tremendous return on your investment to buy those points and use them for that, assuming you didn't already have the Wyndham points to spend. So I think that's a great deal. And I think, we've talked a lot of times about how you could have money, like cash money that you've kept from bank bonuses or from cash back cards, and keep it as like a sort of transferable currency that can be used for things like this. And so right now, since it's very close to 1 cent per point, you could think of it as transferring pennies to Wyndham points. And if you were jealous about Capital One, people with Capital One miles being able to transfer to Wyndham, well, you can now transfer your pennies to Wyndham at the same rate, tiny bit better rate than Capital One can do. And,
Right.
Even if you have Chase points, you could do that. It would mean cashing out your Chase points for only 1 cent each, which is not great, but you could transfer 1-to-1 essentially. Or Citi
Right.
thank you points, same thing.
But only the key point there, though, to note is that Wyndham only allows you to buy up to 45,000 points per
Okay.
year. So you can only do that with
Yeah.
up to 45,000. So you get $450. You could trade out for 45,000 points, which is something I'm thinking about because I have more Capital One points that I could transfer over to Wyndham, but there's part of me that says, well, I can maintain the flexibility and use some of the cash that I set aside from bank bonuses, just buy these Wyndham points. Is it worth paying a penny each for my Capital One points? That's very debatable because the backup plan for those is 1 cent each. So, that's not an argument I'm going to have today, but there's certainly a discussion to be had there. But I think that it can make sense. If you got a vacation rental that you're looking to book, it can make sense, especially at just under a cent a piece. So,
yeah, right.
I think that's already pretty interesting. But then a reader pointed out the fact that these points were on sale about a month ago, and somehow I missed this. They were on sale with a 40% bonus about a month ago, and so that's a little different than a discount. So right now it's 25% off the usual price to buy points. Instead, what they did last month was they added 40% bonus points on top of whatever you bought. So if you bought 10,000 points, you got 14,000 points. You get 40% more points for the full price 10,000 point price. So that worked out actually to be a little bit cheaper. After the bonus, it was 0.93 cents per point. So that deal came around, like I said, about a month ago, and there were two benefits there. One is that the points were a little bit cheaper per point, and two was that since you got a 40% bonus, you could actually buy more total points. So if you bought the full max 45,000 points and got a 40% bonus, you'd actually end up with 63,000 points. So it would have cost you more because you're buying more points essentially, but you would have been able to buy enough for 4 free nights at, for example, a 1-bedroom Vacasa rental or a mid-tier Wyndham property. So somebody said, does it make sense to buy points in the sale right now? Right, the sale that's just under a penny a point, or should I hold off and hope that 40% bonus comes back? What do you think?
Right. Well, it's pretty clear to me that we haven't seen those Wyndham 40% bonuses all that often. Like we dug back and looked and saw there was one identical about a year ago, but it's not like they're coming out every other month or something like that. So if you if you have a need for Wyndham points now, then it'd be crazy not to go for it, because the difference in price is minimal. I guess the one exception I'd say is if you're like, well, I need 60,000 points and 45,000 points isn't enough for what I need, then maybe it does make sense to wait, and because you're not going to get 60,000 points by buying them right now. What about you? What do you think?
I mean, that's tough. I look at it too, and I say, well, it was only last year that Wyndham increased the max points you could purchase. Before last year, you could only buy 10,000 Wyndham points per year. You couldn't even buy enough for a single night per year. So
that's probably why we haven't seen those kind of sales before. Because
I don't know. Yeah, exactly.
Or we never reported it because it's
yeah, they could have been doing them every other month, but who would have cared? Because you couldn't even buy enough for one free night. For a long time, everything was 15,000 points per night. You couldn't even buy enough for that. So, so yeah, it's very possible that they ran sales more often. We just totally ignored them in the past.
Sure.
Or also possible that now that they've increased the limit, maybe they didn't regularly run sales in the past, and everybody just ignored them anyway. And maybe now that you can buy more points, maybe they intend to offer the sales more often, but didn't through the pandemic. Who knows? So it's hard to predict. I think that it's possible that we won't see that 40% bonus for another year. It's also possible that they'll decide to go the Hilton route, put it on sale with a 40% bonus every month. So I totally agree with Greg. I think if you have a vacation rental that you would like to book now, and the 45,000 points can do it, or at least get you 3 nights, I would go ahead and book it. I would buy the points now. I wouldn't wait, because I don't know if the 40% bonus is coming around again. And if you can get by with 45,000 points, if you only need, for example, 3 nights at 15K a night, well, then, buy those now. And then if the 40% comes back again and you find something else you want to use the points on, well, then have player 2 buy points the second time around. Have somebody else in your household buy points to book. So
I'm going to do everybody a favor and say I predict that those 40% bonuses will not happen for quite a while.
Love it. That's great. I can't wait to see next week's email. Okay, so
one caution: if you're going to be buying Wyndham points, don't only do it if you know you're going to be using them soon. They do expire in 4 years, and having activity in your account does not reset them. So make sure you're going to use them.
Very good. Okay, so that was Mattress Running the Numbers.